Good evening, Ayush. Welcome to my channel. Good evening. Ayush will be doing all the chapters of chemistry today. Okay, the whatever chapters are coming for your board exam or your pre-boards, all the chapters will cover it today in this session. Okay, good evening to all those who are watching my channel. So today we will do a quick revision on chemistry for your pre-boards. So it's a combination of all the chapters. So we'll be doing some MCQs, few assertion reasoning, then one or two short questions, and if time permits, one case-based study also. So let's start. So what I want you all to do is, as soon as you read the question, after that in the comment box keep on answering the question. Okay, like whatever answer you think it is correct, just write it in the comment section, and after that I'll share the answers also. Together we'll do side by side. Okay, so shall we start? So give a thumbs up, or like if you want me to start now, if you're ready. Okay, so let us do first MCQs. Okay, the first question: which gas is released when dilute HCl reacts with sodium carbonate? So these are the options. So hydrogen, carbon dioxide, oxygen and chlorine. So what do you think will be the correct answer? You can just write down option A, B, C or D. No need to write the whole answer. Just write down the option number. Okay. Many of you are writing option A. Okay, A. Okay, now see here. Read the question properly. HCl reacting with sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate is what? Na2CO3. So whenever you see a carbonate group, so which gas is released? It is always carbon dioxide, not hydrogen. Okay, so option B is your correct answer, not A, not hydrogen. Okay, you see here carbonate is given, sodium carbonate. So whenever you see a carbonate, you will always get carbon dioxide gas. Okay, so so don't make mistakes. So read the question carefully, see what is given there. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Yes, Animesh, it will be option B, not A. Okay, next question: which acid is present in goat milk? These are your options: acetic acid, lactic acid, formic acid, tartaric acid. Okay, so let's see. So some of you, many of you have given option B. So yes, it will be lactic acid, because milk, whether it is goat milk, cow milk, so milk is milk. So you take it. So it's an indirect question. So they have given goat milk instead of milk or normal milk. So they have given goat milk. So same thing, goat milk also contains lactic acid. Okay, so lactic acid will be the correct answer. That is option B. So good job. Okay, let's move to the next one. The pH of a weak acid is mostly likely to be. Option A is 1, B 3, C 7, D is 12. So which one do you think is the correct option? Okay, we have D, we have B, we have C also. B. Okay, so if you see here the weak acid, the question is for weak acid. Okay, so in order to be an acid, the pH should always be less than 7, right? So that means it cannot be more than 7. So if it is more than 7, that means this is not the correct option. So remaining is this 3. Now 7 is neutral, so it cannot be. So now remaining will be A and B. So between 1 and 3, so 1 is always the strongest acid, so remaining option is B. So B will be the option for this answer for weak acid. Okay, so weak acids are mostly lies between 3 to 6. Anything less than 3 is strong, 1 2 are strong. Okay, pH of 1 and 2 is strong. 3 between 3 to 6 are weak acids. So remember, if it is acid, it will be always less than 7. More than 7 means it is a base. Okay, are you liking the questions? If so, give thumbs up or the heart. Okay, let's move to the next question. So B, here B is the correct answer. Okay, now next question is the metal that can be cut with a knife is. Now out of these 4 options, 1 is iron, B is sodium, C is aluminium, D is zinc. So out of these 4 options, which metal can be cut with a knife? Okay, we have multiple B's, then we also have a C here. Okay, now see here, out of this 4, sodium is the metal which is an exception, the one of the metal which is soft. Rest, iron, aluminium, zinc, they are hard metals. Metals are normally, the physical property of metal is they are generally hard except for sodium. Okay, so sodium is the metal which is soft, so it can be cut with a knife. Okay, so option will be, the correct option will be option B, that is sodium. Okay, next question, which metal forms amphoteric oxides? Option A, calcium, option B, magnesium, option C, aluminium, option D, copper. So which one will form amphoteric oxides? So amphoteric means one which can be either base or acid, which can react as an acid or a base. Okay, so out of this metal, which one will form amphoteric oxides? Okay, we have C, we have A, B also is there. Okay, so out of this 4, if you see aluminium, so aluminium is the correct option. So those who have said option C, that is the correct answer. Okay, so if you see aluminium, aluminium always forms amphoteric oxides. Remember that one. Okay, next one, which of these is not a homologous series? Okay, remember homologous series in carbon and its compound chapter, where you have a difference of CH2 group, right, and it should belong to the same family. So out of these 4 options, that is option A is alkane, option B alcohol, option C carboxylic acid, option D salt solution. So out of these 4, which is not a homologous series? Yes, I have got option D. Okay, so what about others? Keep writing the answers. D. Yes, majority of you are saying D. Good evening, Aditya. 12576. Okay. Yes. So yes, option D is the correct option. Those of opted for option D. It is the correct answer because salt solution is not doesn't fall under homologous series, whereas rest three are they belong to the homologous series because alkane is a family, alcohol is another functional group, carboxylic acid is another functional group, so they all can have a or they can belong to a homologous series. Next one. The color of copper sulfate solution changes from blue to colorless when dash is added. Okay, options are iron, aluminium, zinc and sodium. So out of these four, which one will be you will add to the color to the copper sulfate solution so that the color of copper sulfate solution changes from blue to colorless? It's all about displacement. So which of this element can displace copper sulfate or copper? That's the hint. A, C. Okay, some of you are saying B also. What about others? Try it out. C, A, okay, again C. Okay, so yes, so C is the correct option. So that is zinc. Okay, so zinc will displace copper and form zinc sulfate, and copper will be released. So that because of that, the copper sulfate solution is blue in color. So from this blue color will disappear. Okay, and it will become a colorless solution. So that shows the displacement reaction has occurred. Okay. Are you getting what I am saying? Like, are you able to understand why it is happening? So if I have to write the reaction, so zinc plus copper sulfate, so it will form zinc sulfate plus copper. So zinc is displacing copper. Okay, so that's why zinc sulfate plus copper is formed. Okay. Let's move to the next one. Now CH3 CH2OH on reaction with acidified KMnO4 forms, out of this four option, which one will be the correct answer? Will it form methanol? Will it form propanol? Will it form ethanoic acid? Or will it form ethene? So these are the properties of the chapter carbon and its compound. Okay, the backside topics that is there, that from there it is there. Okay, so so this question is also one of the important questions. Okay, so what happens when alcohol will react with acidified KMnO4? Okay. So alcohol, so KMnO4 is a oxidizing, very good oxidizing agent. Okay, so whenever you put acidified KMnO4 with alcohol, it always forms a acid. Okay, so that is carboxylic acid. So here in this case it will be ethanoic acid. So option C is the correct option. Okay, so those are given option C. Very good. So it's ethanoic acid. Okay, ethanoic acid formula is what? CH3 CH2 COOH. Okay, so 3 carbons. Sorry, I'm sorry. CH3 COOH, ethanoic acid. So 2 carbon. Eth means 2. Carboxylic group. So COOH. Okay, this is the functional group, that is carboxylic acid. So here ethanoic acid will be the correct option. Alcohol, these both are alcohol. It cannot be. We are putting an alcohol with KMnO4. It cannot give you an alcohol. Okay, so remaining is alkene and carboxylic acid. So ethanoic acid will be the correct option. Next, okay, a substance with pH equal to 14 is option A strong acid, B weak acid, C neutral, D strong base. Okay, Shushma saying you have not understood. Okay, I think you are talking about the previous question regarding alcohol with KMNO4. So whenever any alcohol, primary alcohol reacts with acidified KMNO4, you will always get an acid, or in this case it will be a carboxylic acid. Okay, remember that is the base reaction. Alcohol plus KMNO4 undergoes oxidation and gives you an acid or a carboxylic acid. So out of the four options, ethanoic acid is the carboxylic acid. So that is why ethanoic acid will be the answer for this question. I hope I am clear. Okay, for the next question, yes, the pH 14 means it is a strong base. So option D will be the correct option. So most of you have given it correct. So yes, D is the correct option. Next one. Now look at the reaction. Iron plus copper sulfate gives ferrous sulfate plus copper. So it is an example of which type of reaction? Is it decomposition, combination, displacement, or double displacement? Yes, it is C is the correct option because iron is displacing copper. Okay, so copper is released and iron has displaced copper. It cannot be decomposition because it is not breaking down from one single compound to many. It is not going that way, right? So it cannot be decomposition. Combination also cannot be done because there is no single compound formed here on the product side, so it cannot be combination. Now remaining is displacement, double displacement. Double displacement, there is no other compound, other molecule here to be displaced or interchanged, right? So only one element is displacing another one, so it is a single displacement or displacement reaction. So option C is the correct one. Okay, let's move to the next one. When silver chloride is exposed to sunlight, it turns gray due to the formation of, now option A, Ag2O, that is silver oxide, option B silver, option C silver chloride, option D silver nitrate. So which will be the correct option? Okay, I am getting A, I am getting D, B, C. Okay, I am getting multiple ones. What about the others? So it's a decomposition reaction, right? You get lot of questions, common question. This is a common question, I guess, either for silver chloride or silver bromide. That is photochemical decomposition reaction, right? So silver chloride in presence of sunlight. So what do you get? Uh, if it is silver chloride, you will not get silver chloride, right? AgCl2 is the reactant. So if in case when sunlight falls on it, it will not get the same product, right? So decomposition occurs. That means it breaks down, right? So here silver is formed. So option B is the correct option. So because it is forming silver, that is why it turns gray. Okay. So B, those who have written B, it is the correct option. Okay, next one. Which product is formed when calcium oxide reacts with water? It's okay, those who have made mistakes, no issues. So try to understand the question, read slowly, and then you answer. Which product is formed when calcium oxide reacts with water? Is it calcium carbonate, or calcium hydroxide, calcium sulfate, or calcium oxide? Okay, why not Ag2O, Sushma Singh? Because it cannot be silver oxide, because it is reacting, it is a photochemical reaction. That means it is taking place in presence of sunlight, not with oxygen. Okay, so that time silver will be formed and not silver oxide. Okay, so this for this answer, for this question, so yes, those who have given option B, it is the correct answer. Okay, so calcium hydroxide will be formed when calcium oxide reacts with water. So if you can see logically also, if you see calcium carbonate, okay, calcium oxide is there plus water, you don't see any carbon here, right? So it cannot be carbon, so carbonate is not there, carbon is not there in this reactant, so it cannot be calcium carbonate. Sulfate also same, sulfur, no sulfur is there, no reagent is there with sulfur, so this also cannot be. Now calcium oxide, so calcium oxide is already given, there is no product called CaO2. Calcium oxide formula is CaO, right? Calcium is 2 plus, oxygen is 2 minus, so 2 2. So if you go here, so you'll see calcium Ca2O2, so formula is calcium oxide, so this also cannot be. So that way also logically if you see, this is the correct option. Calcium will react with water, calcium oxide, so it will together form calcium hydroxide. I hope I am clear. Give a thumbs up if it's clear. Okay. Okay, let's move to the next question. Rusting of iron requires option A, water only, option B, oxygen only, option C, water and oxygen, option D, carbon dioxide and water. So out of these four, which will be the correct option for rusting of iron? A, C, C, okay, C. Okay, let's see. Yes, C is the correct option. So it requires both moisture as well as oxygen. So corrosion occurs when oxygen is there along with moisture. So in case of moisture, here water is written. So if moisture is also written, then also it is so that one also you need to select. Okay, instead of water, water is nothing but moisture plus oxygen is required for rusting or corrosion. Okay, so that these are the two criterias for rusting. Okay, next one. Milk of magnesia is used to neutralize acidity because it contains option A, sodium hydroxide, option B, calcium hydroxide, option C, magnesium hydroxide, option D, potassium hydroxide. So which one will be the correct answer? So we know that to neutralize acidity, so whenever you feel acid, you have acidity, so we take milk of magnesia. So what does it contain? Some of you are writing sodium hydroxide. Okay, option A. Okay, C is there, A is there. What about the rest? Okay, you should write only one option. Okay, same person is writing two options, so think and write. One answer should be there. Okay, okay, so let's see. So milk of magnesia, so milk of magnesia answer will be magnesium hydroxide, that is option C. So those have written C option, that is the correct. Why? Because the name itself says magnesia is there. Magnesia comes from the word magnesium. So here out of these four, so there should be magnesium there, right? So magnesium hydroxide. It is a base, so it obviously OH should be there. So milk of magnesia contains magnesium hydroxide. Okay, let's move to the next one. A solution that turns blue litmus red has pH likely option A 1, option B 7, option C 9, option D 13. So out of this, which solution will turn blue litmus red? Which pH? Okay, so we have maximum A's. So yes, A is the correct answer. That is only when it is an acidic solution. Acidic solution means less than 7. So we have 1, option A 1. So that will be the correct option. Okay. Okay, next one. Which acid is present in vinegar? Option A citric acid, option B tartaric acid, option C acetic acid, option D oxalic acid. Okay, so C, A, again C. Okay, we have maximum of C. Yes, vinegar, correct option is acetic acid. Vinegar contains acetic acid. Okay, formula of acetic acid is CH3COOH. Okay, so that is the common name, and the IPC name is ethanoic acid. Okay, so ethanoic acid common name is acetic acid, and acetic acid is present in vinegar. Citric acid is present where? Citric acid is present in citrus fruits. Tartaric acid, tamarind. Oxalic acid, tomato. Okay, remember this. So one of the acids, they always ask you the source, okay, from where it is obtained. So it can be tartaric acid, it can be acetic, oxalic, or citric. Any one. This question is also common. So either one source they will ask you. Okay. What is IPC? What Ayush, I didn't understand your question. IPC, where did you get IPC? Okay, so next one, baking soda. It's not IPC, it is IUPAC. Okay, that's the standard name, chemical name of a chemical compound. It's IUPAC. Is the standard nomenclature of a chemical formula, not the general name. Okay, general name is different, and the IPAC name, like it's like a scientific name. जैसे मैंगो को ऐसे आम बोलते हैं, है ना, लेकिन scientific name is what? Magnifera indica. Same way in chemistry also, when you name organic compounds like chemical compounds, there is a generic name, as one is the standard IPC name. So IPC name will be ethanoic acid, general name will be acetic acid. Okay. Okay, so in this, baking soda is chemically sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate, calcium carbonate, or potassium bicarbonate. So many of you have written sodium bicarbonate, that is option B. Yes, that's the correct answer. So baking soda is nothing but sodium bicarbonate. Okay, next one. Bleaching powder is formed by reaction between option A chlorine and dry NaOH, option B chlorine and dry calcium hydroxide, option C HCl and calcium oxide, option D chlorine and calcium carbonate. So it is the preparation of bleaching powders. From there this question has come. So how will you prepare bleaching powder? Which compounds will you use? Okay, we have D and B. DB. Okay, B. What about others? B. Many of you are saying B and D. Okay, it's it's like a tie. Okay, let's see. So answer is B. Okay, so good job. So B is the correct option. So to prepare bleaching powder, we need chlorine and dry calcium hydroxide. Okay. Next, the salt used for making toothpaste to prevent tooth decay. Okay, the options are sodium chloride, calcium carbonate, sodium fluoride, and sodium bicarbonate. Which salt among these four, which salt is used for making toothpaste to prevent tooth decay? So what will be the correct option? This question is a little bit tricky. Okay, so there we will be so you need to find out the exact one. Okay, so it's like a indirect question. You should know what is the composition of toothpaste. One major ingredient is present in the toothpaste, so you should know what is it. So if you know that one, you can answer this question correctly. Will you revise esterification and saponification? I have I think two questions related to esterification and saponification. Okay, so those questions are two questions I believe it is there. So based on these two topics. Okay, Avinav. Okay, so yes, some of you are writing B, calcium carbonate. So C is also there, sodium fluoride. A is also there, sodium chloride. Okay, so yes, those who have so I think lost with like Lakhya, right? Ex Lakhya. No, not you. And Abhinav, your answer and Ranveer, both of your answers are correct. Okay, so C is the correct option. Okay, so if you see here, fluoride is present in toothpaste. Okay, so we need fluoride to prevent tooth decay. So in toothpaste you'll see fluorine or fluoride. So if wherever you see fluorine, that means that is the correct option, not carbonate. Okay, carbonate we don't use. Yes, sodium chloride, and out of sodium chloride and sodium fluoride both have sodium, so yes, we need sodium, but the main ingredient is fluoride. Okay, so option C will be the correct option. Okay, next one. The chemical formula of plaster of Paris is option A CaSO4.2H2O, option B CaSO4 half H2O, option C calcium carbonate, option D calcium oxide. What do you think will be the correct option? Okay, so we have maximum of B. So let's see. Yes, B is the correct answer. So for plaster of Paris, the formula is calcium sulfate dot half H2O. Okay, it is half, not 2H2O. It is CaSO4 dot half H2O. Remember the formula. Plaster of Paris topic is also important. So one question from plaster of Paris, they do give it in the board exams. Okay. Okay. Next one. Which phenomenon occurs when an acid reacts with a metal? Option A, reaction becomes cold. Option B, carbon dioxide gas is released. Option C, hydrogen gas is released. Option D, oxygen gas is released. So out of these four options, which is the correct one? You have to say what happens when an acid reacts with a metal. Okay, we have C. Okay, so we have a majority of C. So yes, C is the correct option. So whenever any acid reacts with a metal, hydrogen gas is released. Okay, for example, sodium. Okay, take a acid, so you'll get sodium chloride plus hydrogen gas. So hydrogen gas is released and a salt is formed. Okay, yes, C is the correct option. Next one, when a strong acid is diluted, the temperature, option A, decreases, option B, increases, option C, remains constant, option D, drops suddenly. Okay, so question is, what happens when you dilute a strong acid? What will happen to the temperature? Think of an acid. You are taking a concentrated acid. Strong acid means a concentrated acid, and you are diluting it. That means you are adding water. I mean, you are mixing water and acid together. So what will happen to the temperature? So that it is coming from that question, that statement. What happens when you dilute an acid? Okay, so it's an indirect question. Okay, yes, those who have written B, it is the correct option. So you must have seen, so when you dilute a concentrated acid, what will happen if you touch the outside test tube or the beaker where you have kept the acid and you're diluting it with water, you'll see the temperature increases. I mean, you can feel the warm test tube or the warm beaker. The beaker gets warm. Why? Because it is an exothermic reaction. Whenever you are diluting an acid, there is an exothermic reaction. As a result, what is happening? Heat is released. So when heat is released means the temperature will also increase, right? So the correct option will be option B. Okay, not A or C. It will not remain constant because we are diluting it, you are adding water to the acid, so that time exothermic reaction occurs and heat is released, so it cannot be constant. Okay, let's do the next one. Which metal forms a protective oxide layer preventing corrosion? Which metal forms a protective oxide layer preventing corrosion? Option A, iron, option B, aluminium, option C, zinc, option D, lead. Okay, majority of you are saying B. Yes, B is the correct answer. So out of this four, aluminium will, you can take aluminium to have to be a extra layer on the top of iron. You take any metal, mostly iron. So in order to prevent corrosion, we can take aluminium as an outer layer, so which will protect the inner metal. That is the, if you are taking iron, so then it will be iron. So aluminium will form oxide with in presence of oxygen and moisture, but it will protect the inner metal. Okay, so aluminium is the correct answer. Okay, next one. The metal that does not react with cold or hot water but reacts with steam. Is it sodium, potassium, magnesium or calcium? You have to name the metal which does not react with cold water also, does not react with hot water also, but only reacts with steam. So this is a question from the properties of metals and non-metals. Okay, so chapter metals and non-metals, from there this question. Okay, many of you have said B, so B is the wrong answer. It will be C, which is magnesium. Okay, so magnesium is the metal which will react only with steam. Okay, it can react with cold water or hot water, but in case of magnesium, it will react only with steam. Okay, so option C is the correct answer, not B. Next one, which of the following is a good conductor of electricity? I think this is very easy. Try it out, think and answer. Okay, is it sulfur, carbon, phosphorus or iron? Thermometer has mercury, not magnesium. Okay, thermometer contains mercury. Okay, you have option D, option B, C. Ankit is saying C. Okay, then D. Okay, so correct option is D, that is iron. Okay, so iron is a good conductor of electricity, not sulfur, neither carbon nor phosphorus. Okay, this is also easy one. The non-metal that is a good conductor of electricity: graphite, sulfur, oxygen, nitrogen. So which non out of these four, which non-metal is a good conductor of electricity? Yes. Yes. A is the correct option. Graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Mostly non-metals are not good conductor of electricity, but graphite is an exception, which is a good conductor of electricity. Okay. Coming to the carbon and its compound. What is the general formula of alkene? So out of these four, CnH twice n, CnH twice n plus 2, or is it CnH twice n minus 2, or CnH twice n O2? Yes. Okay, we have mixture B, C. Also, we also have A. Okay, so for alkanes it is CnH twice n plus 2. Okay, CnH twice n is this is because for alkenes or alkyne we don't have oxygen. Okay, so this cannot be an option. So H twice n is alkene. Okay, CnH twice n plus 2 is alkane, and this one is alkyne. Okay, so remember these three formulas. So in here they have asked for alkanes, so alkane will be CnH twice n plus 2. So, and for alkene it will be CnH twice n, and for alkyne it will be CnH twice n minus 2. Okay, can you tell me out of alkene, alkane and alkyne, which one is having double bond? Who is having double bond? Alkane, alkene or alkyne? Yes. Yes, very good. Alkene. So alkenes are double bond, alkenes are single bond, alkynes are triple bond. Okay. So option B is the correct answer for alkene. Okay. The functional group, this one we have already discussed. The functional group present in ethanoic acid will be OH, COOH, CHO or CO. Yes, those have said option B, that is the correct option. Okay, the OH is alcohol. Okay, CHO is aldehyde, and CO is carbonyl group. Okay, carbonyl group, or we have ketone, that we have C double bond O. Okay, so that is ketone. Now here it is, this is a carboxylic acid group which is present in ethanoic acid. Carboxylic group have a compound having carboxylic group ends with oic acid, right? So that's why ethanoic acid. Okay, so option B is the correct one. Okay, which compound does not decolorize bromine water? Okay, so these are all from carbon and its compounds. So these are questions, or these topics also you need to know. Okay, the reactions of organic compounds, some of the important compounds are given there, so everything is important, okay, from this chapter. So do study all those. So one of the question is, which compound does not decolorize bromine water? So this is reaction with bromine water. Is it ethene, ethyne, ethane, or propene? So out of these four options, which one will not decolorize bromine water? Okay, we have D, we have C. Yes, so option is C. Okay, so that is not alkene, it is an alkane. Okay, so alkanes are what? Saturated hydrocarbons. So saturated hydrocarbons are will not decolorize bromine water. If it is unsaturated, whether it is alkene or alkyne, okay, so they will decolorize bromine water. Only saturated compounds will not decolorize bromine water. So out of these four, you see only ethane is a saturated hydrocarbon, that means it is an alkane, so it is a saturated compound. So rest you see here, it is alkene, this is alkene, this is alkyne, so they are unsaturated. So unsaturated will decolorize bromine water, only saturated ones will not. So here option C is the correct answer. I hope I am clear. Okay, so always remember, saturated compounds, what do you mean by saturated compounds? That is the alkanes. Okay, the ones having single bond, they are called as saturated compounds. Unsaturated means what? The ones which is who is having double bond or triple bond, that is alkene or alkyne. Okay, so when you add a unsaturated compound with bromine water, the color changes. But if you add a saturated compound with bromine water, the color remains the same. It will not change. Okay, that means decolorization will not take place. So that is in case of single bond or saturated or alkanes. So out of these four options, only one option is having alkane, that is ethane. So that's why C is the correct option. I hope I have explained. Did you understand? Is it clear, Bhupali Devi? 3625. Okay. Now, let's do saponification. Related to saponification, soaps are sodium or potassium salts of option A alcohol, option B acids, option C fatty acids, option D esters. So which is the correct option? Soaps are sodium or potassium salt of dash. This is not esterification, this is saponification. So in saponification, when you prepare salt, you need a fatty acid. Okay, so that's why option C is the correct one. You need a salt of fatty acids, be it a sodium salt of fatty acids or potassium salt of fatty acids. and that's how salt is prepared. Okay, so preparation of soaps, you will find that sentence is there. So it is made up of sodium or potassium salt or fatty acids. Okay, so option C is the correct option, not esters. Okay, so it is we are preparing it, so preparation of soap will have fatty acids. Okay, now this one, ethanol reacts with acetic acid in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid to form option A ethene, option B ethanoic acid, option C ester, option D soap. So these are the properties of ethanol. So what will it form? Will it be ethene, ethanoic acid, ester or soap? Ester. Option C, option B. B is ethanoic acid. Okay. C. Okay. We are having a mixture of B and C. Okay, so let's see. So option C, those have said ester, that is the correct option. So you can get ester by the reaction of ethanol plus acetic acid. Okay, so that's how, and in presence of sulfuric acid you'll always get an ester. So how do you identify an ester? Okay, so that's how an ester is there, right? So COO, so that's the functional group for ester. Okay. Okay, so that comes to the end of MCQ. So I hope you all like the MCQ part. If yes, give a thumbs up. Then we can start off with assertion reasoning. Okay, you all did a good job. So many of the options you have given correctly. So you are you are on the right track. Okay, so those who have made mistake, no issues. Just go back to those particular topics that where you made the mistake. Go through it again and revise it so that again it will be clear. Okay. Yes, very good. Only 4 wrong. Okay, great. Okay, so let's move. So assertion reasoning. So you know the 4 options. So A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Option B will be A and R are true but R is not the correct explanation of A. Option C will be A is true, R is false. Option D, A is false, R is true. Okay, so you just need to write in the comment box whether it is A, B, C or D. You don't have to write the full statement. Just write A, B, C or D. Okay. Okay, let's start. The first one, assertion: rusting of iron is an oxidation process. And the reason is oxygen is added to iron during rust formation. So what will be the correct option? Okay, we have got quick answers from Bitesh and Bhupali Devi. Option A. What about the rest? Okay. So majority of you are saying A. So yes, A is the correct answer. Both are correct, both the statements are correct, and reason is also the correct explanation of A. So for rusting, rusting is an oxidation process, corrosion is an oxidation process, and if it is an oxidation process then obviously oxygen is added, right? So that's why so option A will be the correct option. Let's go to the second one. Okay, Bhupali Devi 365 is Madhurja. Okay, sorry Madhurja. Okay, from now on I'll tell Madhurja. Okay. Okay, second one. What will be the option? Assertion is all bases are alkalis. Reason is alkalis dissolve in water to give hydroxide ions or OH minus ions. What do you think will be the correct option? Any other? What about others? Okay, A. You see the first statement, all bases are alkalis. Is it true? What are alkalis? The bases which dissolves in water are called alkalis, right? So are all bases alkalis, or all alkalis are bases? So the first statement is wrong. Okay, the assertion statement is wrong. All bases are not alkalis. Okay, so all alkalis are bases. So it should be the other way around. So and reason, alkali is dissolved in water to give OH minus, and that statement is correct. So option D will be the correct one. Okay, not B, it will be D, the last option. A is false, R is true. Okay, let's move to the next one. Assertion, ethanol is used as a fuel, and the reason is ethanol has a high calorific value and burns cleanly. What will be the correct option? So all agrees with option A. Yes, both are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Okay, so both the statement are correct, and also the actual reason also. Next one. Sodium metal is always stored in kerosene. Reason is the sodium reacts vigorously with oxygen and moisture. So what will be the correct option? Okay, Bitesh is the first one to answer. Ayush next. Okay, let's see if you are. What about others? Okay, Madhuja also option A. Okay, so yes, those all of you are correct. So it is option A, that is both are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Good. Next one. Carbon forms strong covalent bond. That is an assertion, and the reason is carbon has 4 valence electrons. So which one is the correct option? Okay, what about others? Yes, carbon, both are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. So option A is the correct answer. So very good. So all are A. Yes. Okay, so carbon forms covalent bond. Covalent bonds are what? Sharing of electrons takes place, and carbon has 4 valence electrons. So 4 covalent bonds it can form. Okay. Okay, next one. Next assertion. Dilution of acid is an exothermic process. Reason is water molecules release heat when they react with acids. This one we have already discussed in MCQ, so I think you can say the correct answer. So what will be the correct answer for this? Okay. Is it A, B, C or D? एसिड में एसिड को डाइल्यूट कर रहे हो, so it is an exothermic process, and reason is given as water molecules will release the heat when they react with acid. Yes, good. So it is correct option is A. So option A, that is both are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. Okay, next one. Silver chloride turns gray when kept in sunlight. Reason is there. Silver chloride undergoes thermal decomposition. Read the question properly. Madhurya C. Okay. Okay. Mahamrityunjay. Okay. Option D. Okay. So you see here, silver chloride turns gray when kept in sunlight. Okay. Now, what type of reaction is it? Decomposition. Which decomposition? Is it a thermal decomposition? So, do you think the reason is correct? Yes. Very good. So, option C. Okay, so option C is the correct. A is true, R is false. It is not thermal decomposition, it is a photochemical decomposition. So be careful, don't blindly go for decomposition. You see what type of decomposition is mentioned there. Had it been only decomposition, then it could have been option A. But if you see here, it undergoes thermal decomposition. So it cannot be thermal decomposition. It's an example of photochemical decomposition. Okay, so you have to be very careful while reading the statements. Okay, next one. Lemon juice turns blue litmus red. Reason, lemon juice contains citric acid. So what will be the correct option? Okay, we have A as the answer. A. Okay, so yes, A is the correct option. Both are correct because lemon juice is acidic, so acid will turn blue litmus red, and acid, which acid is found in lemon juice, that is citric acid. So both are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. Copper does not react with dilute acid. That is the assertion. Reason is copper is less reactive than hydrogen. What do you think? Okay, we have D as option. D. Okay, so all majority of you saying D. Okay, you have changed the answer, you are going back to A. Okay, okay, Nazmin A. Okay, Ankit D. Okay, so let's see. So correct answer is A. Okay, so those who have said A, very good. So yes, copper does not react with dilute acid, and since copper is less reactive than hydrogen, that is why it cannot displace the hydrogen. Okay, so that is why copper will not react with dilute acid, because acid will contain hydrogen. Yes or no? Suppose HCl. So copper plus HCl. So you see here hydrogen is there. So since copper is less reactive than hydrogen, so it cannot displace your hydrogen. Okay, I think we have, okay, this one we have done, sorry. So I hope I am clear. So copper cannot displace hydrogen because it is less reactive, that is why copper will not react with dilute acids. Okay, let's move to the next one. So here option A is the correct one. Okay, coming back again to the detergents and soap. Okay, so again saponification. So you see here, detergents work better in hard water than soap. That is the assertion. Reason, detergents form scum with calcium and magnesium salt. Okay, so this is one part of the question where regarding hard water and soft water. So you see here, so what is it true, or I mean, is the option A, will it be A, B, C, or D? Read the statements properly. Assertion is detergents work better in hard water than soap. Okay, detergents, and reason is detergents forms come with calcium and magnesium salt. Okay, Ankit says A is true, R is false. Okay, what about others? Some of you are saying A. A. Okay, let's see the option. So A is true, R is false. So Ankit, yes, you are correct. So that is the correct option. Always remember, detergents never form scum. Okay, scum is produced by soaps. Okay, hard water. Because of that, soaps cannot be used in hard water for cleaning. Okay, because soaps forms scum. Okay, scum of calcium and magnesium salt. So that is what the magnesium and calcium salts are present in hard water. Because of that, scum is formed, and as a result, what happens, soaps cannot do the cleaning action, whereas detergents, they do not form scum with the salts of calcium and magnesium. That is why it is easier to use detergents in where you have hard water rather than using a soap. Okay, so that's so you see here what is being given here. So that's scum, where it is formed. Always remember, scum is formed with soap, not with detergent. That's one difference between soap and detergent. Okay, so that's the so I hope you have understood. So remember this one, scum. About scum, go through the topic scum. Okay, scum and hard water. So from there also question do come, so read through that topic once again. Okay, next one. Okay, thanks Sumit, good to see you. Okay, assertion, carbon forms a large number of compounds. Reason, carbon has tetravalency and catenation property. So what will be the correct option? Okay, so let's see. Yes, A is the correct option. Okay, not D. Option A, both are correct, and reason is also the correct explanation. Carbon, that is the unique property of carbon. It can form number of compounds. Why? Because of the catenation property as well as tetravalency. Tetravalency, so it can form covalent bonds. Catenation is the self-linking property, through because of which the carbon can form compounds with other carbon atoms and forms chains or branches. Okay, that is called catenation, and also tetravalency, because of that covalent bonds are being formed. I hope I am clear. Okay, the next one, ethanol reacts with sodium to release hydrogen gas. That is the assertion. Reason, sodium displaces hydrogen from alcohol. So what will be the correct option here? Okay, we have option A. What about others? A. Okay, A. So we have majority of A. Anyone having a different answer? Okay, I I think all agrees with A. Yes, A is the correct answer. So both the statements are correct. So whenever ethanol, so what is the formula of ethanol? Ethanol is an alcohol, right? So ethanol is CH3CH2OH, or in short form you can write C2H5OH. Okay, so that is ethanol. So ethanol when reacts with sodium, so you'll have your hydrogen gas will be released. So the hydrogen is released plus the sodium ethanoate will be formed. Okay, so sodium displaces hydrogen from alcohol. So sodium will displace the hydrogen of this alcohol group. This is the alcohol group, so here hydrogen will be displaced. Okay. Okay, so that comes to the assertion, end of the assertion reason. Okay, I hope you have got an idea of what type of assertion reasoning you are getting. Is it clear? Did you like? You get diagrams for biology, for chemistry. Yes, structures you have to study, isomerism, isomers in carbon compounds. Those things you need, where you need the diagrams. Diagram is structure, not diagrams. It is structure, or the missile structure of soap. All those is there. Okay. Okay. Shall we move to the next one? Short questions. We don't have much questions left now, so we'll finish it off. Okay. So far, are you like, if you're liking it, give a thumbs up again. Okay. Yes, give the hearts. Okay, let's move to the first question. Okay. Why is plaster of Paris stored in airtight containers? So this is one of the question that's from the topic preparation of plaster of Paris. Okay, or the topic of plaster of Paris. So there is preparation reactions are there. So this question have come from that part. Okay, so why is plaster of Paris stored in airtight containers? Can anyone tell me? Why is it so? What will happen if you don't if you keep plaster of Paris as it is, or if you keep it open, what will happen? So same thing, if you keep it open, what will happen? Or if you keep it in, why do we have to keep it in airtight container and not in open containers? Okay, so can you tell me what will be formed? Yes, very good. Because it will react with the moisture present in the air and it will form gypsum. Okay, so because of that we store it in a airtight container. So plaster of Paris will absorb the moisture and it will convert to gypsum. So that is the reason. Okay. Okay, next question. Why does milk turn sour when left at room temperature? This is very easy question. So what will be the answer? Why do you think milk turns sour? You don't have to say the full sentence, just give me a keyword, like why it will turn sour. What happens? Like what is that keyword there? Important keyword that you need to see in this answer. It reacts with oxygen. Then what will happen? Yes. Okay, good. Lactic acid. Yes. So lactic acid is present in milk. So the lactic acid bacteria, what it will do? It will convert the lactic acid. So it will convert the lactic acid. That's why the milk turns sour. Okay. So it is not rhizobium bacteria. It is lactic acid bacteria. It's not rhizobium bacteria. Okay. So that is a different bacteria that is present in the root legumes, or rhizobium bacteria are nitrogen fixing bacteria. Okay. So because of lactic acid bacteria, it will convert the lactose present in the milk to lactic acid. So that is why the milk turns sour. So here the keyword is lactic acid bacteria, and also remember the conversion. So it will convert lactose to lactic acid. Okay, lactose will be converted. Lactose is present in milk. The sugar present in milk is lactose. So this lactose will be converted to lactic acid in presence of lactic acid bacteria. Yes, lactobacillus. Okay, not bacillus, it is lactobacillus. So the bacteria, lactic acid bacteria, or you can also say lactobacillus. Okay. Okay, last question from the short questions. What is the role of soap missiles in cleaning? Remember the soap missiles in cleaning. So what is the action of, or what is the function of the soap missiles while cleaning? Okay. So what does it do? Remember the soap missiles? Yes. So this was the dirt particle, the soap particle. So this forms missiles. So why is it? What is the role? To trap the dust. Okay. With negative charge tail. Okay, good. Missiles trap the oil inside the center and help wash them away. Okay, good. So what was the same thing? So soap forms missiles that traps oil and dirt. Don't say dust, because we are using soap. So soap is mostly for dirt, to remove the dirt or oil present in the dirty clothes or whatever you are using it. Okay, inside the non-polar. So you have a polar end, you have a non-polar end. So the dirt will be trapped inside the non-polar end, and it helps in the washing away while rinsing it off. So what will happen is, when you agitate the mixture, soap mixture, and you rub the clothes or brush the clothes, so what will happen? The dirt will be removed or get detached from the cloth. Okay, so polar means having a charge. So one side is charged, one side is polar, is having a charge. Non-polar is without the charge. Okay, so that part. So the non-polar part inside the non-polar. So this is a non-polar end. So here the dirt particle will be trapped. Okay. So these three are the short questions. Okay. So one last question. It's a case-based study. Okay. So it's a short one. So an easy one too. Okay. Let's move. Okay. This is the case-based part. A student adds zinc granules to dilute sulfuric acid. The flask becomes warm, bubbles appear, and hydrogen gas is released. Zinc dissolves slowly, forming zinc sulfate solution. Okay. So here the question is, why does the flask become warm during the reaction? And the second question is, write the balanced chemical equation for the reaction and also identify the type of reaction. So you need to say the answer these two questions. So first read the paragraph once again. So this is from the activity based question that is given in your NCERT book. The diagram, along with the diagram, one activity is there regarding zinc and sulfuric acid. Remember, so if you so from there it has come. So tell me the first answer. Okay. So Ayush have said exothermic reaction. Okay, why does the flask become warm during the reaction? Very good. So yes, it's an exothermic reaction. So that is why the flask will become warm. Okay, whenever you have an exothermic reaction, heat will be released. So that's when the flask or the test tube becomes warm. Okay, what about the second one? Write the balanced chemical equation. So what will happen when zinc reacts with sulfuric acid? What is formed? Okay, yes, it is exothermic reaction. Now can you tell me the balance equation? So what will be the product formed when zinc reacts with dilute H2SO4? Yes. So zinc sulfate, zinc will displace hydrogen, right, and hydrogen gas will be released. Yes, so this is the balanced chemical equation. Okay, so hydrogen gas is evolved, so that's why up arrow is given. Okay, now one more part is left in this question. You see the last part. Identify the type of reaction. Now which reaction is it? The last question, tell me. Is it decomposition, combination, displacement, double displacement? What type of reaction it is? Okay, all are going for displacement. Anyone having a different answer? Okay, let's see. So see here, it's a displacement reaction, also a redox reaction. Okay, so here if you see, okay, and if you see here, okay, so one is addition of oxygen, that is oxidation. One is removal of hydrogen, that is reduction. Okay, so it is also a redox reaction. Yes, main is your displacement reaction. So if you see it can have more than one type of reaction. Okay, so if you know, if you are sure that what is the other one, then also you write it down. Okay, otherwise if you're not sure, then you go only for displacement reaction. But a reaction can have a chemical equation can have more than one reaction. Okay, so here in this case it is also a displacement and also a redox reaction. Okay, so that's all for today. So I hope you have learned something today, a quick revision. I hope did it work for you all? Quick revision. Give your heart if you have found it useful. Okay, good. So next, so if you so where you have seen that you need some more brushing up, today you just revise those topics where you got stuck in a particular question or particular reaction where you got stuck. Go through it once again so that you will be clear with those type of topics. Okay, and biology I'm planning to do tomorrow. So if you are interested, if you want to do a quick revision on biology, I'll be sharing the link and I'll let you know tomorrow what time I'll go live and do some biology questions also. Is it okay? Okay then, so good luck everyone, keep studying, enjoy the study. Okay, time is very less, so utilize your time. Timing I'll let you know tomorrow what timing I'll be going live. Okay, you'll come to know. Okay, so good luck everyone. Okay, I'm ending it now. Okay.